we are back, and we're going to kick off the review of Megan. And as always, stop by the YouTube to see the video version of this review. Stop by and search for Maniacal 2, and stop by, subscribe, like the video, comment, agree, disagree. Let us know. That help the channel out a lot. And so, all right, let's get it started. Megan was released back in was it last year? Did it come out last year officially?
No, it was this year.
Is it this year? Like early
this year, yeah.
Yeah, probably like January, February time. It's currently streaming on Peacock right now, but it is starring Allison Williams and Violet McGraw. This is what's it about? What's Megan? What's Megan about? Just break this down for us.
Megan is essentially child's play. The movies with Chucky, except that it's a more modern telling of, and I don't mean it's a retelling of Chucky, but you have the doll, but this time instead of a doll, it's a lifelike computerized doll, like with this learning algorithm and whatever. This woman works for this toy company, and she's trying to create this cutting edge toy. It's going to entertain kids. And credit where credit is due, she innovates or invents, rather. It's not really innovation in this case. She invents this really incredibly sophisticated matrix that goes into the doll, and the doll is able to really interact with you as though it was a kid or a friend or whatever. It learns things about you. It gets to know you. It becomes close to you and everything like that. So the toy does what she programmed the toy to do. But as with all quasi-horror movies, especially dealing with artificial intelligence, perhaps Megan, the namesake of the movie and the doll, is not as innocent as she first appears. And we're off to the races.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, when you were saying that, it just hit me that it's like Chat GPT in like 10 years or so, stuffed into like an Android or something like that. It's very much a 22nd. We're in the 21st or 22nd century. I think it's 21st century, right? Yeah, it's a 21st century what do you call those, like a morality tale, cautionary tale, so to speak. So so
Amazon, raise your children.
Yeah, don't let YouTube kids raise your kid. So all right, so I started breaking these down in like different parts. So it's like the what's this about, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and the summary, which I kind of call the author's introspection, which is a fancy way of just saying summary. Just giving kind of like a final thoughts and a score. So we did the what it's about. So what did you like about this one? What stood out for you?
I like that it handled the idea of raising your children with surprising nuance for this movie. Like for a movie like this, I thought it was gonna all be on the nose, and sometimes it is, but it's actually having a pretty mature conversation for the duration of the movie.
Yeah.
Without putting too much blame on any one party all the way. You know what I mean? Like it very much recognizes that a parent-daughter or parent-child relationship is a very complex endeavor. They're parents, they're learning as they're going along. They make their mistakes, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they are unfit. You see what's going wrong, you make adjustments and everything like that. There are things you need to not do. Like you can't just shirk off the responsibility. You can't let the world raise your children, because that's not going to end well. But it also like lets you know that the burden of being a parent is very heavy, and there needs to be some level of sympathy for those who undertake it, especially in cases like this, for reasons I won't go into. Wasn't really the main adult movie in this movie. It wasn't really her choice.
Yeah.
But she had to step up, and she did. So I appreciated that it dealt with this subject. It dealt with grief and trauma and all the really mature themes that it tried to tackle. It did it a lot better than I would have thought a movie from January that's effectively a slasher flick would,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Because I remember when the trailer for this hit, and it seemed like just like a really dumb kind of throwaway early in the year kind of movie, and that's kind of how I approached it. Like I sat down and watched it, like with other stuff going on in the background, just totally expecting to kind of just like half ignore it and like kind of half watch it. But as the movie went on, that I mean, there was an event that happened, in the thing where kind of sets up Allison Williams' character to be like the kind of caretaker for the girl played by Violet McGraw, and I wasn't expecting that. Like I kind of came out of nowhere, and I was just like, oh, that. So that kind of like pulled me in right there, right? And it was just like Allison Williams' character is just not. She's not a fit mother, but she never asked for it. Like you said, she didn't ask for the role. It just kind of like was thrown onto her, and she's in the middle of her career, and there's things happening in the company, and she's like, I really got to like come through with this new tech or whatever, and so she kind of like brought her work home with her, literally, you know, and so yeah, it is. I say it's a morality tale because it's like, and I'm guilty of that. I'm 1,000% guilty of giving like my kid a tablet and just like, okay, go now. I'm I'm busy. I'm doing something. Like let this capture your attention. And yeah, it's almost like this thing. Like, no, you can't let technology raise your kids. You know what I mean? Like, no, you have to still like. I mean, everybody loves giving your kid a phone or a tablet, but shit. But yeah, no, you have to take an active part in them as well. And it was just kind of like this. I'm sitting there as like a guilty parent, just like, got you, message received. You know what and so yeah, it was. But and the fact that like this AI doll was in contact with this girl who had a traumatic experience and really needed somebody to be there for her was kind of like the catalyst for like everything that happened there, because the child got the child kind of like got too attached to the technology. The technology is like all aware and was kind of created too good, and it got too attached to the child, and so it was just, it was going to end bad like all around. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think the script in this was like really good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good, honestly. And the Megan doll in this was like actually pretty sophisticated on screen. Like I think it had like a human model to it, and they kind of like CG'd her up or something like that. But yeah, the actress that played Megan was, I thought, was like too good. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
certain, very, very menacing, absolutely menacing.
yeah, it was crazy, especially that the part in the wood that's in the trailer that was crazy, and the part and the part in the trailer that I think sold the movie too, with like her like dancing like in the hallway, was wild. That was crazy. But, yeah, it became one of my favorite movies, like one of my favorites of the year. I have to write this down on my short list of like favorites of the year. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I thought it was gonna be a dumb little movie, a dumb little thriller. Sat down and watched it like, oh no, this is actually saying a lot,
Yeah,
actually. And so I was down with it. What I don't like about what I didn't like about this is not a lot I can say I didn't like about it. The boss character in this, and in general, everything about like the whole like corporate side of it was so kind of predictable and just kind of there, for service of the story. I was, every time it went to that, I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, let's go, let's move along, let's pick it up. Um, if I was nitpicking like that, and her friends, or it's been a while since I've seen it, but her friends, her like office friends too, were like just clueless and annoying. You know what I mean? Like I didn't connect with them at all. I didn't really like them in this. They were just there to be the friends. You know what I mean? But and that's just me nitpicking. Like there's not that much I didn't kind of like about it. But I don't know what you think.
I didn't like that it blatantly set up for a sequel. I thought this was a fantastic one off. Thought it was a great story. I think they are at risk of something that, like, I think they caught lightning in a bottle with this one. I
Mm,
didn't love it, but I definitely liked it a lot more than I thought I did. It's a solid watch, but
yeah.
I feel like you're risking that. But especially the way in which they're setting up a sequel, it's feeling very. You did you watch Dragon Ball Super?
Oh my God, that show. I tapped out. I was watching it, but I tapped out eventually because that tournament is probably still going on to this day.
Word. You remember Zamasu, the future threat, like the Kai that
Yeah,
remember when he became the giant cloud, like in the finale, like they beat his physical form and then he just
yeah,
turned into the sky. Like I feel like Megan 2 has the potential to be that. Like, you had a contained, nice personal story, and now you're kind of setting it up to be this kind of global thing, which is just you can't really relate to it at that point. You know what I mean? So I'm just like,
yeah. What are we doing?
yeah, I'm not trying to see this thing keep going, So that's all. I like the movie itself. I was just like, oh, this is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, but you knew that was going to happen. You knew it. We
Yeah.
can't leave well enough alone. Hollywood just cannot leave well enough alone. Maybe I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel though. I wouldn't mind seeing one, but the route that they're going was just like, why? So like she's going to be like an AI in the internet, like in the cloud, basically. Like, it's maybe I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a chance to see what's going to happen with it. But meh, meh. I say. Um, but yeah. So what I don't like, what I like about it. So I mean this. So I mean we can give it a score now. Just as I don't know, author's introspection on this would just be more so shockingly, I would give this like a 4 out of 5. I thought this was excellent. I wasn't expecting it, and I thought it was really good, really good movie. Not in the If I could give a more nitpick though, like not enough slasher in it, but it's they're doing something different. They're trying to do something different and do something like actually say something. And so like I say 4 out of 5. Pretty good.
Word. I'm really on board with the idea that it's proof positive that you don't really run out of ways to innovate familiar stories if you take the time to do it. Like
Right.
you're not looking at anything that's never been done before in terms of storytelling, but the way in which they told the story and the medium in which they did it, the parallel they drew, I can't think of an example off the top of my head that's like Megan in that way, about where they're trying to draw a parallel between the relationship between the parent and the child and everything like that. Plenty of slashers, but in this way, nah. And if you can do that and you can keep doing that, and you can, even if we're watching stories that are like what we've seen before, it keeps it fresh, keeps it innovative. And because of that, like as soon as you said 4, I was thinking 3 because like I said, I didn't love the movie, but I don't think I can justify less than a 4, actually. Like, I think 3 would be cutting it a little too short. 5 would be giving it too much credit. So
Yeah.
I give it 4. I'll match you. I'll give it 4.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I came into this thinking, oh, this is just gonna be like a revamped Chucky. That was everything that was in my mind doing this. But like from the incident, like right at the beginning of the movie, and like from then on, it was just like, oh wait, no, this is like I actually have to pay attention to this. Like this is actually like something that's actually they put effort into this, and thought, and crafted something. Like wait a minute,
We
it's
about
crazy.
something around here. We about something.
Right. So yeah, Megan, man, 4 out of 5. Who knew? Who knew? Especially from like a January, February movie. Those are
Yeah,
usually ass. But
definitely a sleeper. Definitely a sleeper.
yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if like all the big like super famous critics like top 10 list at the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if Megan is in like 7 to like from 10 to 7 or something in that range. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I think it will hit the list. I think it will, at least someone's. It will be on
yeah.
somebody.